Welcome to Red Recaps. For today's video, we'll be taking a recap of the thrilling alien invasion movie, War of the Worlds. Sit tight and relax for a frightening, yet exciting ride. Let's get started. A man was talking and saying that people on Earth have gotten complacent, and there are other people in the galaxy who are envious of Earth. The movie started with a man, Ray, moving and stacking containers. His boss told him to work overtime, which he abruptly refused. Ray drove home and was greeted by a couple whose woman is his previous wife. Their kids are going to stay for a while with him. His old wife, Mary Ann, walked her kids into the house and waved her goodbye to them as she left. In the news, it was seen that the country of Ukraine was facing a large power interruption due to large-scale thunderstorms. Ray called his son and invited him to play baseball for a while. They got into a heated argument that led Ray to throw one of his curveballs straight into his glass mirror. His son, Robbie, hated him. Ray went to bed as his kids ordered food. He went up and saw his daughter in the living room, and she said that he went out and took his father's car. Ray went out to look after his son. And as he went out, he saw a gigantic storm brewing in the sky, wind angrily blowing and thunderstorms inside it. And suddenly, the wind stopped. Ray insisted on watching the storm, but massive lightning strikes nearby, and they are forced to go inside. The thunder continued as it struck the ground one by one, hitting numerous objects in the town. They hid under the table and wondered if Robbie was okay. The thunder momentarily stopped, and they realized that the power was out as Ray went out and checked things. Ray realized that even his watch had stopped working. Ray went out of the house and found Robbie. He told him that Ray's car is on Lincoln Avenue, and all the cars in the city are not working. Robbie went inside as Ray continued to get some news outside. There's a massive hysteria in town as all of them go to the church. They are now conspiring about what really is happening. As they reach the church, there's a spot where lightning strikes 26 times in one single spot. As they checked the spot, the ground started crackling viciously all across town. The ground started to separate as it destroyed numerous buildings, including the church. The church got split and the ground turned into a massive sinkhole. Inside, it rained with ice and through a car. And then an out-of-this-world creature suddenly popped out and jumped 70 feet into the air, wreaking havoc. And that is just a taste. The next one reveals a ginormous creature roaring as it floats in the sky. All the townmen start running away. The creature let out a deafening sound and started firing laser beams at the town. Everyone that got hit perished, dead. Ray just barely got out and dodged the lasers. The big creature continued walking across town. Ray went home covered in dust. He told his kids that they were going to leave town as the kids had no idea what was going on. They left the house and got in a random van. The owner of the van, Manny, showed up and refused to let go of his van, and he got caught by the laser and vanished. As they drove the van, laser beams are all over the town, breaking bridges and obliterating the whole town. Ray told Robbie what he saw back in the town and was convinced that it came down with the lightning storm. As his daughter Rachel was petrified, they went to his old wife's house to bring the kids back. But their mom and her new husband Tim were not there. They tried to calm down as Ray made them sandwiches. It was just that he was bad at making them. His kids refused to eat as he let out his frustrations about the incident. They went to the house's basement to sleep overnight and feel more safe. As the night goes on, heavy winds and thunderstorms are felt. That's a familiar sighting. There's a loud shrieking noise and an earthquake with lightning alongside of it. It was deafening. They hid in the pipe room, and as Ray checked the house the next morning, it was completely destroyed. A crashed airplane in the neighborhood. All of it was a complete mess, totally wiped out. He saw a group of reporters in the area and asked them what happened. One of them revealed that hundreds and thousands of those things Ray saw in the town were causing chaos all around the globe. They think that these machines or creatures were on Earth long ago because they came from the ground. She insisted that the lightning sent some creatures to control the machines. As the city got completely wiped out, they went off again to go to Boston, where his old wife was currently. They stopped in a secluded area to go pee, and that's where his daughter saw hundreds of dead bodies floating on the river. Ray abruptly closed her eyes, and they tried to go back to the van. As they got back, they saw a horde of military soldiers, and Robbie desperately cried for help. Ray and Robbie got into a heated conversation. Robbie insisted that Ray only cared for himself. They got back in the van and reached Hudson, wherein thousands of people were in the streets, begging them to take them in their van. They got swarmed by the people, and some of them got aggressive, desperately trying to stop the car. As Ray pumped the brakes, he ran into a post and people broke the car's glass and continued swarming them. They were forced out of the car and a fight broke out. As people got into the car, Ray pulled out his gun and threatened to shoot them. This stabilized them. Another man pointed his gun at him and he nabbed the car from Ray. People continued swarming it as Ray and his family went to an abandoned restaurant. Ray broke down in tears in disbelief. They continued walking with the crowd, hoping to get away from the disaster. As they reached the ferry, Ray met his friend Cheryl and his daughter sensed something in the woods. And that creature caught up to them. People panicked and all of them wanted to ride the ferry. They needed to escape. Ray desperately begged the military to let them board the ferry. Ray sneaked past the guards on board the ferry, but Cheryl got left behind. Robbie rushed to help the people who wanted to board the ship. As the ferry sailed, they saw a light coming from the water, and a whirlpool suddenly occurred. And something blasted through the sea. A large monster, a gigantic machine. The entire ferry went upside down and Ray and his kids got tossed in the water. The machines are clawing at people one by one. Ray and the kids barely escaped the machines and they saw numbers of them wreaking havoc. The clothing of the people that got clawed came raining down on the sky. They reached a town and saw the military trying to fight off the machines. Robbie, who was disgruntled, came rushing toward the military and Ray tried to chase him. Ray caught up to Robbie and tried to stop him from rushing toward the machines. As he talked to Robbie, a couple reached out to his daughter Rachel, insisting that they wanted to help her and that she should go with them. Robbie begged Ray to let him go. Now Ray has a serious dilemma. He let go of Robbie and ran towards Rachel as he reunited with her. The army continued fighting the machines. They got invited by a random guy to his bunker and offered them safety. They rested on the man's bunker and Ray sang his daughter to sleep as he assured her safety. The man offered Ray a drink and they talked for a while. The man, Harlan, insisted that those machines planned this attack a million years ago and said that this attack would continue. As they finished talking, the ground started to rumble and they were surrounded by those machines. Harlan insisted that these machines have a weakness and they need to fight them off. Ray doesn't want to fight them because he has Rachel with him and he wants to make her safe. He then suddenly saw Harlan talking to Rachel, insisting that if anything happens, he'll be the one who will take care of her. As he grabbed Rachel and talked to Harlan, one of the machine's tentacles came straight to the bunker looking for any signs of human life. They played hide and seek with the tentacle, and Harlan wanted to chop it off with an axe. Ray signaled to Harlan to just knock it off and just hide with him and Rachel. Harlan made a noise that caught the machine's attention. They hit at the back of a mirror, and when the machine went off, they barely escaped. As they continued to hide, the bunker was inspected by creatures with long heads, sharp hands, and feet. Are these the ones who are controlling the machines? The creatures continued to search the entire bunker. Harlan saw this as a chance to blow their heads off, but Ray stopped him, and now they are fighting over a shotgun. The mysterious creatures seemed to communicate with each other and suddenly went off when an ominous sound was suddenly heard. Harlan told Ray that they were not on the same page. Ray saw veins and roots spreading across the bunker with blood? Harlan came shouting and calling Ray, and what is this? They saw the machine sucking the people's intestines? Now Ray realized that those veins and roots were actually from human people. Now that is messed up. Harlan is losing his mind. He is digging another hole, saying that they should stop those machines, that he and Ray were the resistance. As Rachel sang a lullaby, Ray went to Harlan and killed him. They went to sleep and suddenly the tentacle caught them. They know where they are. Rachel, out of panic, went out of the house as Ray followed her. As Ray went out, he saw disgusting, unsettling intestines lying on the ground like cables. Everything has blood on it. He continued running and couldn't find Rachel, and now he is getting chased by that tentacle machine. He got in a car and got tossed. He heard Rachel's screams, and now the machine focused its attention on her. The machine caught Rachel. That thing has Ray's daughter. Ray grabbed a grenade and threw it at the machine, but it had a force field around it, and Ray got caught and placed in a pod with hundreds of people. The people in it were scared to death, and they are being sucked in one by one. Now Ray is getting sucked in by that thing. The people in the pod helped him by pulling him out of safety. And Ray put a grenade inside that thing. He blew inside of it. The machine blew up and then destroyed it. They are now back to safety. The next day, they reached Boston, and it was revealed that the machines went down on their own. The machines are dead. Or did they? One of the machines is still moving, but they realized that the force field around the machines was already there. They can put this thing down, and they blew it up with heavy artillery. The machine let out an orange liquid, and after, it was a dead alien creature. Ray went to Rachel's mom and handed her back, and Robbie was already there. He is safe. They hugged it out, leaving Ray speechless. It revealed that the Earth suffered over 1 billion casualties, but they are going to adapt, and when the time comes that they get invaded again, they are ready. Wow, that was insane! Have you enjoyed the video? Leave a comment down below if you liked the movie. If you liked this movie, you can watch it by clicking on the links below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching Red Recaps. I'll see you in the next video.